Ah, here goes. Hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Do hope you lot are all doing well today, dear sweet friends. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I tell you about updates on both Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger's contract situation. Interesting. Saul could go to Juventus in January. What? Ross Barkley to Newcastle? Get out of here. Lots to crack into today, friends. Do get comfortable. If you want to show some support on the channel, please do drop a like on the video. It means a lot. You're welcome to subscribe if you're new, and check out this sensational offer. Hi friends, me again. Take a minute or two and listen to this fantastic deal that I can offer you from my partner, Surfshark. Indeed, I'm very happy to have partnered up with Surfshark to offer you their incredible VPN service. For those of you who don't know, a VPN is of course a virtual private network, an easy to use tool on the internet that can protect you as well as offering you new realms of entertainment. It does this by bouncing your internet's location elsewhere. For example, have you ever had a piece of content you wanted to watch but you're blocked from viewing it because you don't live in the appropriate country? Well, you can unblock said content by using a VPN and changing your location. And it's really simple to use. Wham bam, just like magic, you're suddenly watching that video you've always wanted to watch. Also, changing your IP address's location will protect you and help your internet security. In a world of digital identity theft, this is of course hugely important. Like I've said in previous videos, I personally use Surfshark a lot to help me watch extra Netflix content. I'm always using the VPN to bounce from the UK version of Netflix over to the USA version of Netflix, and then I'm able to watch a whole new country's worth of entertainment, and it's ruddy wicked, friends. If you sign up to Surfshark using my code FOOTBALL, you will get a sensational 83% off the regular price, and for a limited time only, you will get an extra 4 months free. That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4. An incredible deal when you use my code FOOTBALL. Go check out Surfshark now simply by clicking the link down in the description to get this sensational deal, and it's also worth mentioning, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Absolutely incredible. Go click the link now and enjoy your new VPN. Bang! And we're back. Welcome back. I missed you. We're going to cite an article from Team Talk to talk about Saul shortly, but let's give you an update on both Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen. Of course, these two defenders, indeed like Thiago Silva and César Azpilicueta, are all out of contract going into the summer. Hectic times! All our defence is no longer going to be contracted to Chelsea Football Club. We can expect the likes of Thiago Silva and probably César Azpilicueta to just re-sign on 1-year extensions, provided they're happy with the club. To be honest, they're both fine. The huge concerns are Antonio Rudiger going into his last final big contract, knowing his value, probably being able to get paid a lot of money elsewhere, and maybe wanting to leave. Andreas Christensen was seemingly more locked down, as the 25-year-old is very happy developing at Chelsea, probably doesn't have the same quite high profile as Antonio Rudiger, but both are yet to put pen to paper. Today I'm going to read you quotes from Matt Law, who guested on the London is Blue podcast. Great podcast, friends of mine. And Matt gives his opinion on the situation with both the Chelsea defenders. Let's pull up the tweets from London is Blue and see what's been said. Matt Law on Andreas Christensen's contract. From Chelsea's perspective, the deal was done, but there has been an issue now from the player's end. I don't think it's the player himself, but there is a big issue that's caused the problem. Personally, I think it will get done. The desire of the player is to stay. The desire of the club is to keep him. I think Tuchel will push very hard for this one to get done, but it may need a little bit more time and quite a lot of negotiating from here on in, because there's been quite a significant problem. Now, I listened to Matt Law speak these quotes in the podcast, great episode, and he was like, dude, guys, for legal reasons, I cannot state publicly what's going on from what I've heard, and we have every reason to believe Matt Law's information, by the way, but there is quite a significant problem. Now, that is a change of narrative from all of us being rather certain that there was going to be no problems with Andreas Christensen, that he's happy, he'll get a bumper deal, he's a regular player in, a Champions League winner squad, he's trusted by the coach, no problems at all. He probably doesn't have that same pressure or sort of perspective that Rudiger does, does, where he's like, this is my last chance to get 250k a week. Christensen's pretty happy, he's an academy boy. We thought it was all sorted and it was all good. But a proverbial spanner has been thrown into the works, and sadly this sounds like another reason to maybe be concerned, even if it's still likely he does eventually extend. But more worrying times for Chelsea. Now let's move on to the other player, Antonio Rudiger, and find out what's going on with probably the more difficult of the two. There's not been any progress since the last update. The key time is going to be in January, when foreign clubs can talk to him. If those offers don't arrive, then the situation flips on him. Interesting. Well, in January, it becomes legal for him to start negotiating a free transfer in the summer, and that's when formal offers can be put on his table, like, hey Rudiger, it's us, Bayern Munich, we're going to give you 200k a week, or hey Rudiger, it's us, Paris Saint-Germain, we're going to give you £350,000 a week on a 5-year deal. Should they do that, no matter how much he loves Chelsea, no matter how much he loves Thomas Tuchel, I have a feeling he might go, thanks for the Champions League, the Europa League, and the FA Cup. Thanks for the good times, Chelsea, but I'm out of here. Do you know what I mean? And it's not put in that quote, but Matt Law said his gut feeling, not an informed feeling, but his gut feeling is that Antonio Rudiger will leave Chelsea in the summer, and Andreas Christensen will hopefully end up staying. Now, frustrating for all. Yes, this brings us back to the situation of it will cost way more to bring in an elite player like him on a transfer fee and still put them on good wages than just put him on these new good wages. I get it, I'm inclined to agree, but at the same time, if they do break and give him like really high wages, then that sets a new precedent across the whole dressing room. Well, he plays this much, he's getting paid this much. Everyone who suddenly plays a lot as well are going to be like, well, I want that much as well. Usually goals come at a premium and they cost more, but if your centre back now is getting 250k a week, Chelsea's whole wage structure gets crumbled. And it's not just the structure of it, there's a whole psychological frailty there that perhaps fans like you and me don't really think of that much. We just want the good players to stay and sign. Easy for us, right? Maybe not. Right guys, we're going to jump into the second part of the video. Stick around to the end because we are going to talk about Ross Barkley and Newcastle maybe coming in for him, and maybe some other stuff. We'll see how we get on. Right now, let's move on to the next part of the video, cite an article from Team Talk, and talk about Saul Niguez. Now, there's conflicting reports coming out regarding Saul. Some people are saying, yeah, Chelsea want to get rid of him. Some people are saying, look, Chelsea fancy him. In fact, the aforementioned Matt Law reckons Thomas Tuchel is going to keep a close eye on him over the international break. And on the international break and the players remaining at Cobham, Thomas Tuchel's told the Fifth Stand app that he's given everyone a week off. He wants people to recharge, recalibrate before he brings them in for training. And I think when he says people, he's probably referring to himself as well. He says he wants to hang out with his daughters and his dog and chill out. Nice human stuff, important stuff. But it's an important time for him to have a close, keen eye on Saul Niguez, knowing that he's got the likes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek and maybe Ross Barkley, depending on what happens in January, to look at for potential midfield options. And of course, he's actually played Trevor Chalobah in midfield, and very briefly, Reece James as well. Thomas Tuchel knows he has options there. So what to do with Saul Niguez? Well, let's jump into this article now from Team Talk and find out what they're saying about the Spanish midfielder. Saul Niguez is already being linked with his next club after Chelsea, as it becomes increasingly unlikely that he will stay at the club beyond the end of his loan spell. Chelsea signed Saul on loan for the season on deadline day. The Spanish midfielder had been looking for a new challenge after becoming frustrated at Atletico Madrid, but he has simply traded one set of problems for another. So far, Saul has only started one match in the Premier League and 2 in the Carabao Cup. Only a few weeks passed between Saul's signing and the reports that Chelsea would not be using their option to buy him. Yes, he's a deadline day signing, but he's not a peculiar left field panic buy in many ways, or panic loan. Thomas Tuchel proclaimed himself he is a player that he's been fighting for many years. Obviously talking back to PSG, and who knows, maybe even before that at Dortmund. Maybe. He's a highly rated midfielder in Europe that's fallen out of favour under Simeone because he was being played out of position. This is not a random, Zappa Costa, Danny Drinkwater signing. It's an elite player in his prime that was fancied by the coach for a long time. It's important to remember that. Nothing has happened since that suggested otherwise. Therefore, it could be back to the drawing board in 2022 for both club and player. Chelsea have already been linked with a number of midfielders who Thomas Tuchel may trust more. He's looking for support for the likes of Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic. The German tactician has been given more chances to the likes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, whose time at the club previously seemed to be up, in in further bad news for Saul. Alternatively, it could be taken as an encouragement for the loanee that there is a way back into Tuchel's plans for fringe players. Yeah, that's really important, and that's something that Matt Law also said on the podcast. He spoke about he's really good friends with Kepa Arrizabalaga, Saul, and Kepa will be saying, look man, I was out in the cold, Tuchel came in, and he didn't make me number one again, but he made me feel involved. You know, I'm starting games in London derbies, I'm coming on for shootouts in finals, stuff like that. I'm integrated, you can be a part of this too. According to Tutto Juve, Serie A side Juventus have identified Saul as a possible midfield reinforcement for the winter transfer window. Midfield is a major concern for Juventus and has been for a number of years. They signed Manuel Locatelli from Sassuolo in the summer, but they're still looking for that extra quality in that position. The likes of Aaron Ramsey and Weston McKennie could be allowed to leave. By clearing out such space, the old lady can continue to make new signings. Saul could do really well in Serie A. He could do really well playing for a big club like Juventus. Juventus, by the way, who have been really struggling in terms of their league form. They've done alright. I think they're top of the group in the Champions League above Chelsea. When it comes to Serie A, they're like 6th or 7th or something. They're like well out of the title race already. I mean, you know, it's still pretty early to say that, but it feels like it. And I haven't watched them enough, but who knows? Maybe midfield is a huge problem for them. If they think Saul can do well for them, maybe it's an option. Would he want to keep jumping around Europe mid-season? I'm not so sure. Maybe if they promise him game time in a less physical and a less fast league, maybe that works. You won't have Aston Villa pressing him all the time. It could work. Anyway, let me know what you think about Saul Niguez. Would you think it's good for him, good for the club, good for everyone if he goes in January? Or do you think Tuchel should just hold on to everything until the end of the season? We got a lot of games to play and see if we can make it work. Comment down below and let's move on and talk about Ross the Boss Barkley. Cool, so I'm not going to be citing an article today because it's across the media. Many outlets are linking Ross Barkley to Newcastle United in January, which seems like such a Newcastle signing in the context of their new money, you know, looking for that kind of profile of player. Although really they have like a decent amount of attackers. They've got, you know, Wilson, very good. Saint-Maximin, very good. They've got Almiron. They've got Fraser, who's played for Eddie Howe. Do you know what I mean? There's others. Really, they should sort out the defence. But Ross Barkley could be the main man there, maybe. The rumoured fee is £25 million. Chelsea will be making a £10 million profit on him when they bought him for, of course, $15 million. Absolute bargain. Not just, you know, making the 10 mil profit on him, but getting a lot of use out of him under 2 or 3 managers, maybe 2.5 in total, a little bit of Conte, a little bit of Tuchel, but really it's just mainly sort of Sarri and Lampard. Truth is, Premier League teams won't be wanting to do Newcastle United favours. Again, to quote Matt Law, he spoke about how Premier League teams will want Newcastle to get relegated because of the type of money that's come in, because of the type of control they'll look to put in and impose themselves. That's a pretty universal thing. The top, middle and bottom of the Premier League clubs will probably all will Newcastle United to get relegated. Again, this is nothing against the fans. This is just the politics of the situation. So, do you give them a good player like Ross Barkley? I don't know, maybe Chelsea don't think about it that much. Maybe they see an opportunity to get £25 million and a player that's sort of been utilised a bit. But again, from Thomas Tuchel's perspective, he's seen Barkley as a useful player. Off the bench, he's done very well. He's turned to him a lot, to the point of he started him in the Premier League. I don't think Thomas Tuchel will want to sell these players. He's never been one of these coaches that says, oh, we've got a really big squad, we've got a bloated squad. He's like, no, we're going to need everyone. And I think that might be the case for Ross Barkley too. So anyway, let me know what you think. Comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts, feelings and opinions on this particular transfer story. Express yourself in the comment section. If you've enjoyed my content today, I would appreciate you dropping a like or a dislike if you didn't like it, whatever. Just get active on there, man. Make sure you do go check out that amazing deal at Surfshark. Incredible deal indeed, and you can click the link in the description to go get that now. Alright friends, that's it from me. Enjoy the football and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.